Humble myself. Our third question. See what had happened, guys.
Well,
I had thought this was going to happen, and then it didn't.
Hey, some of us went 3-1 last week. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm speaking for myself on this one. But it's that time of the day, prediction time. Portland plays the Lakers tonight. They're 3-4. The Thunder 4-3 on Sunday, and the Grizzlies 5-3 on Tuesday. All of these games are at home, so it's that time. Let's make your picks. Which games do the Blazers win, and which games do the Blazers lose? Nate.
You tried to make yourself sound like you haven't been picking games well at all this year. You're 6-2 and picking the 8 games so far.
Do you have all of our records?
Yeah, you're both 6-2 and I'm 7-1. So that's the only reason.
Not bad.
I was on such a roll, man.
If it was the other way, I probably wouldn't have known that. So.
You just keep track of that all season.
Oh,
have some fun.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it. I missed that Raptors game last week.
Yeah.
That's the one I've missed. This week, over the next 3 games, rather, I think the Blazers are going to go 2-1.
Okay.
I think they're going to beat the Lakers at home tonight. Obviously, losing Aminu will be a big difference maker, especially for a Lakers team who does score as often as they do in the paint, and they have a guard who can kind of play all over the floor. Lonzo Ball just doesn't have to be outside; he can kind of be all over. And having a guy like Al-Farouq Aminu to come help out whenever would be nice. But I think the Blazers are going to bounce back after last night. I think, granted, I know we said this about Milwaukee. That loss had to leave a sour taste in their mouth, and the Clippers as well. But the way last night went down, I think it's going to stick with them, and I think they're going to want to come and show out tonight. It's on national TV, which, as we know, they usually play well under the really bright lights. So I think they're going to end up winning tonight against the Lakers. And the Lakers are actually a good defensive team, too, so far this season. So it'll be interesting to see if the Blazers' offense can kind of get back on track against the Lakers team that is in top 10 in defensive rating as well this week. I believe they're going to lose to the Thunder on Sunday. The Thunder, they're really kind of starting to click a little bit right now. Carmelo Anthony and Paul George and Russell Westbrook are all shooting pretty well right now. Russell Westbrook's quietly having another triple-double type season. They're one of the top 5 defensive rating teams so far this year. I believe they're second in the league in defensive rating right now. And I think the size of Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and Carmelo Anthony against C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard will be an issue for the Blazers. Yeah. So I think the Thunder are going to win that one. And I'm going to give the Blazers the nod against the Grizzlies. Grizzlies have been playing really well. They're 5-3. Granted, they've lost their last 2 games, so maybe they're starting to come back down a little bit to earth. But they're another team. I think that game will be very similar to the Jazz one, or necessarily won't be high scoring.
Right.
They'll kind of have to grind out points. That's just how Memphis plays.
Yep.
But at home, I think I'm going to give the Blazers the nod.
I like that. All right, what are you rolling with?
All right, so we are identical.
We are.
Yeah. I've got them going 2-1. I have them beating the Lakers tonight. Lakers are rested. The Blazers are coming back. Second night of a back-to-back. That is somewhat of a disadvantage. I just think the Blazers are more talented than the Lakers. I think that they'll be able to match up well with this team, and they beat the Lakers 12 times in a row. I don't think that streak's going to end tonight. I do think the game's going to be more competitive than some people might think. You think about this Lakers team, they're probably one of the worst teams in the Western Conference, but I think they are playing with a lot of pride right now, and they're playing hard. Yeah. So I think that they're going to keep it competitive against the Blazers, but I think they'll win. I think you're right. I think that they're going to come out and try to bounce back. They've lost 2 in a row, so they're definitely, in my mind, going to lose to the Thunder. I don't think that they match up well with the Thunder at all. I think Steven Adams is playing really well this year too, and the Thunder are playing very well right now. So I think that's a loss. And I think that they're going to beat the Grizzlies as well as the Grizzlies have played. They've kind of, like you said, come back to earth a little bit. And Mike Conley and Marc Gasol, they're dinged up right now. Conley's dealing with an Achilles, and Gasol has a sore ankle, and so neither of them, Conley sat out the last game, and neither of those two have played particularly well, the last couple games, and that's going to be the 3rd road game of a 5-game road trip for them. Yeah. So I think they're just going to be a little bit worn out, and I think the Blazers will win an ugly game probably.
That's a good point. I am the odd man out in this week. I do agree with you guys on the Lakers. Okay. That's one of those games, though, I got to admit that I had circled that I'm anchoring tonight, but I'm going down to the Moda Center.
Yeah.
I've got to see
Gotta
Lonzo
see
Ball
Lonzo.
play in person. I mean,
I heard
just what he does.
LeVar's going to be here, too.
Is
I
that
heard he's
right?
in Portland, yeah.
Man,
go get
TNT,
that.
I'm sure gave him a phone call, right?
Probably.
I better bring the camera and see if he'll
he-
talk.
He
right?
wants to be on TV. Come on.
Oh, he loves it. See what he thinks about Portland, man.
Max is
Max
shaking
Barr
his head.
is not having that.
Oh,
I've got to lead my sportscast.
Do you care to chime in, Max, at all about that?
Max with the opinion.
Let's move on, guys.
But yeah, so I'm totally looking forward to this game. But as you guys have said, I just think the Blazers are a better team. They bounce back. They're at home. The energy will be up. Give me the W on this one. And I don't disagree with anything you guys are saying about OKC. This is just a stacked team.
Yeah.
For local fans here, enjoy it. You get to see another special team come into the Moda Center and perform, but they're leaving Rip City with a win.
I think so.
And then the last one, I agree totally with what you're saying, Nate, on I think that this game will be close. I think it's going to be entertaining, probably the best one of all of them if you're going to watch one. But until the Blazers prove that they can beat a good team and that they can win close against a good team, I've got to see it. The trend right now is that they can't beat good teams. And until they prove me otherwise, I'm not picking them to win.
You're totally right. It's really hard to pick these games right now because the Blazers are in this big shooting slump. So you don't know when they're going to start taking care of the ball, when they're going to break out of this shooting slump. And if they're not hitting their shots, it's hard to pick them to beat a good team.
Like you did mention, though, obviously, if Conley isn't playing or Gasol isn't playing, I mean, that's a game changer in all of this. So we may know the answer to that prediction
In a few days.
Yeah, in a few days.
I mean, I get your point because they are 0-4 against teams that we think are probably playoff caliber. Granted, Indiana's 5-3.
They're
to
playing
start off
really
the
well,
season.
especially without Miles Turner.
So
That's
that
a
wins.
good win.
That win's looking better for the Blazers right now.
I think the Phoenix win, the second Phoenix win, is also a good win.
Yeah, absolutely. Phoenix, the only loss they've had since they fired Earl Watson was to the Blazers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they've won their 4 other games that they've played. I guess personally, I don't think Memphis is really a playoff team this year. I don't think outside of Marc Gasol and Mike Conley that they have, the weapons to, contend in the West this year. And so that's kind of the reason why I gave the Blazers the nod. And I mean, granted, you have to give the Grizzlies credit. 2 of their wins are against the Rockets.
Yeah,
So those
and
are
one against the Warriors.
and so those are good wins, but the other 2 are also against the Mavericks, who are like
Right.
1-7 and 1-8. And
Yeah.
so we still don't know who the Grizzlies are.
Yeah, I do love stylistically what they bring.
Yeah.
They definitely test you.
I don't love stylistically what they bring.
I do. Oh, if you're sitting through that whole thing from start to finish, I give you props. But the last 5 minutes of that game, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I just think that's going to be the closest game out of all these that we're talking about today. But it's time to see if I can catch Nate on the predictions
Looks
here.
like we may have a question.
Well, I just wanted to put a point on, you guys are talking about all the good defensive teams the Blazers are playing lately. Looking at the defensive rating rankings, Raptors are 8th,
Yep.
Yeah.
Jazz 3rd,
Clippers are 7th.
Lakers 6th,
Yeah.
which is pretty surprising. I know it's early
Yeah,
in the season.
Yeah.
That is surprising, though.
Yeah.
And the Grizzlies are 4th, Thunder number 2. So
Jeez.
it's kind of a murderer's row. of
You remember
defensive
how
teams,
we were talking about how they had this easy stretch to start the season? That's a fallacy.
Nah.
Their strength of schedule is ranked in the top 5, through 8 games, and it doesn't get that much easier. I mean and maybe it's
That's
just the
such a
NBA
good
is so
point.
good right now.
And that's something I had put down as something we could possibly get into. Obviously, we're running out of time, but the teams that play their opponent, what their record is this year is 30-24.
Right.
This year, the only team below 500 is New Orleans, and they're 3-5. The rest: Phoenix 4-4, Indiana's 5-3, Milwaukee's 4-4, the Clippers 5-2, Toronto 4-4, and the Jazz 5-3. So, like Jared said, we all thought this was going to be an easy part of the schedule, and so far, it's not proven
We're
to be that
definitely
way.
sleeping on that schedle.
Yeah.
Even the Brooklyn Nets, who are coming to Portland soon, that's not an easy win anymore.
No.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The NBA is crazy right now.
This is the fun time of year when you still don't know exactly what teams bring to the
I think we need expansion. I think we need a team in Seattle, maybe another city. We need to get some bad teams in the league again so you can beat up on some bad teams because there just aren't that many anymore.
Well, I believe in about a week and a half they get to play the Kings 2 nights in a row, so that should be
Yeah, that'll be
get
okay.
2 wins.
and